BlacKkKlansman is directed by Spike Lee and is based on true-life events taking place in, 1979, where police officer Ron Stallworth, who was the first black police officer of the Colorado Springs Police Department, he sets out to infiltrate and expose the local chapter of the Ku Klux Klan, and he does this by calling over the phone and having a fellow officer take his place, a fellow white officer, mind you, take his place during the face-to-face meetings. And now for my consistent disclaimer that I put in every single video. For those of the uninitiated, you guys who have never seen any of my videos before, what I do in order to get my thoughts out is I do a pro and con list. It's pretty simple. Pro is everything good, con is everything bad, or at least everything in my opinion that's either good or bad. And sometimes, I like to keep them separate, the sections, but sometimes I will, freelance a little bit, and, if I'm doing a pro and it will easily transition into a con, I will take advantage of that, but I mostly try to keep them separate. Anyway, there's your disclaimer. Let's go ahead and get into the review. First off, the guy who plays Ron Stallworth is Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington, and, he shows that talent in his family did not stop at his father. And it's funny because he sounds exactly like his father when he talks, especially when he raises his voice. But I still saw him as his own person, an actor in his own right, and he gave an Oscar-worthy performance even though, he didn't end up actually getting nominated, but, I'll get over it. As far as other performances, Adam Driver also gives an amazing performance in this film. I had felt like, the media was so oversaturated at the time of when I actually saw the movie with Best Actor potential nominees that maybe they would overlook John David, but I also thought that, it would be harder not to notice Adam Driver himself. And for some reason, I actually got that right. I didn't think that I would. But going into the film, I was a little worried that maybe Adam Driver's character wasn't going to be fleshed out, or maybe that he really has no connection to the events going on, that he was just basically somebody who was following the orders of his police chief and whatnot, and said, fine, I'll be part of this. But really, it's a small twist in my opinion, but you learn fairly early on that that this actually does mean something to him, and why exactly it means something to him. And when I saw it, I began to understand his character more, and a few of his prior actions, I thought back to them and I thought, I really like this guy. I thought that this movie was going to be a straight-up comedy, especially with how the trailers accurately portrayed that this is a very incredible, unbelievable story. But no, this is a very serious drama that does have comedic elements and moments to it. And it's good because with this kind of film, especially since it does find a way to showcase it in a way that's not overreaching or over-exaggerating, that this kind of issue with racism is still around today, you do need that kind of comedy feel in the movie. You need it every once in a while so that you don't feel bogged down by so much shit. I enjoyed that we got to see pretty much every side of this kind of conflict, as pretty much normal, not innately good or evil. A couple of examples. We see KKK members just hanging out like normal people, showcasing that you can never truly spot a bigot, a racist, an extremist, whatever you want to call these kind of people. All of those are fine words, and I'm sure a few of you could come up with some other ones. Hopefully not heroes, because, stop it. They're not always going to act like the people that we think that they're going to act like. That they always act normal and hang out with each other, drink some beers, go fishing, shooting, go to a barbecue, and you could look at them and not think, oh my god, that's an entire group of assholes. No, you see friends, co-workers, just hanging out together, enjoying each other's company. And also another example of that not innately good or evil part is where the main character Ron is talking to a Black Panther member, and you know, they kind of know each other, and the person didn't know that they were a cop. And now they're basically screaming at him saying, "You're a pig, you're the fucking enemy." And all he's saying is, "I'm just doing my job, and it's my job to protect you as a US citizen." You know, you can be fighting for the same thing and have the same ideals and yet still be enemies. I did have 2 issues with the movie, though. The film does perhaps feel a little too long. There's definitely moments and parts where the pacing drags, and it felt like the film should have sped up. The editing choices throughout are also a bit strange, particularly in an early scene where they just juxtapose the faces in a crowd and plaster them all over the screen in the background and in the forefront. It just really takes you out of the film and just looks really tacky. But despite the flaws that I have in it, I still thought that BlacKkKlansman was a hell of a time to watch a movie. And sadly, I didn't get to watch this movie in the theaters. I kind of put it off. I don't know why. Actually, I don't think that I really had a reason. I just happened to put it off. But I didn't actually get around to seeing it until this December, or this most recent December. We had gotten on a flight back home from visiting my family, and they were offering free movies. You know, American Airlines. I love American Airlines now. I had never flown with them before, but this most recent one, I really loved them. But I chose BlacKkKlansman because it was one of the first movies that they were offering when you click the button, and it's just like, hey, sample from these, you know. And I was able to finish it just before we landed, and I think I watched it between Orlando and Dallas. No, it was. Oh yeah, we did go to Dallas. What the hell is wrong with me? But anyway, yeah, I ended up finishing the movie before we landed, and I was really glad that I used that span of time to watch this movie because I really had a fun time with it, and I will definitely be rewatching this movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, I really urge you guys to watch it. It's an entertaining movie and also an important one for all of us to see. As far as its worthiness as a Best Picture nominee, it was definitely one of the better movies of 2018, especially when you consider all the films, the 8 films that were nominated for Best Picture. This was definitely one of the better ones. And will it win the award? I seriously doubt it. But it absolutely at least deserves the nomination, in my opinion. And those are my thoughts on BlacKkKlansman. Thank you guys once again for watching. So I think I've got like 2 more of these left to do. The next one's going to be The Favorite, which should come out in a couple of days. Or maybe the next day after this. I don't know. I don't know how I'm scheduling this. You'll see how it comes. Either way, both videos will come out. Excuse me. I suck with my throat these days. But anyway, they'll come out before the voting closes with the Academy, and then I'll talk about other things. But yeah, the next one's going to be The Favorite, and then it's going to follow up with Vice. So yeah, just be on the lookout for all of that, and I hope you guys enjoy those videos as well. Thank you guys once again. Again, I'm thanking way too much. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do not hesitate to hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with everything that's going on the channel. Farewell until the next video, and you guys have a good day.